Today, the supplementary list of business was given to us just 30 seconds before the House started. That even if you increase taxes on tobacco and tobacco products, what are you doing from a public health policy point of view to raise awareness and disseminate urgent information on the harmful effects of consuming tobacco? This is a revenue move to profiteer on taxes. It is not a public health reform. Manrega workers in Bengal have not received their wages since 2022. Nearly 2 lakh crore is due to the state of West Bengal from the union government across various...
Sagarika, Ghose.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, sir. On behalf of All India Trinamool Congress, I rise to speak on the Central Excise Amendment Bill 2025. Sir, this is the first time I'm speaking and you are in the chair. I take this opportunity to convey my greetings to you from all of us. A brief word, sir, on procedure. Today, the supplementary list of business was given to us just 30 seconds before the House started. So the House started at 11 a.m. The supplementary list of business arrived just a few seconds before the House started. So what kind of procedure is this? Without giving us adequate time to study the bills, how can we be prepared with substantive interventions in the House? So this procedure must be introspected on by the government. Sir, the Central Excise Amendment Bill 2025 revises taxes and cesses on tobacco and tobacco products. No doubt, this is an extremely important bill. It is actually crucial from a public health standpoint because higher taxes may, and I use the word may advisedly, may discourage tobacco consumption. Tobacco and tobacco products use results in mouth cancer, lung cancer, and other fatal cancers. There were over 15 lakh cases of cancer across the country in 2024 alone from tobacco use. On oral cancer, there were 1,30,000 new male cases in 2024, according to the Indian Council of Medical Research. Lung cancer cases are projected to increase from 63,708 cases in 2015 to 81,209 cases in 2025. Most patients, when they come with these forms of cancers, present with an advanced form of the disease, of which 80 to 85% are incurable, causing nearly 60,000 annual deaths from lung cancer alone. Yet, the point must be made, sir, that even if you increase taxes on tobacco and tobacco products, what are you doing from a public health policy point of view to raise awareness and disseminate urgent information on the harmful effects of consuming tobacco? What are you doing from a public health perspective? Because just by raising taxes, it is not going to discourage people from smoking or consuming tobacco products. People who are addicted to tobacco or who consume tobacco products will consume them anyway, even if you keep raising taxes. We have seen that the government is not taking any steps to control that pan masala and tobacco advertisements are being done by celebrities and influencers across media. What is the government doing to control these kind of advertising? You see, if you keep raising taxes but then don't do anything for health, people are still going to consume that tobacco whether you raise taxes or not. You claim that increasing taxes on tobacco discourages consumption, but public health allocation details are missing. Global best practices show that tobacco taxes are most effective only when paired with strong public health interventions. Therefore, this bill is a revenue move. It is a pure and simple revenue move. It is not a public health reform. This is a revenue move to profiteer on taxes. It is not a public health reform. So ours is a federal system of governance, and the cornerstone of the federal polity is transparency in allocation of tax revenues. Taxes are shared with states, but a cess is not. Cess revenue is not shared with states. In cess, the centre retains more revenue while the states get less. This raises important questions on fiscal centralization and reduced autonomy of states. In this bill, there is no clarity on long-term revenue sharing or impact on states and this undermines trust in the tax cess restructuring. In 2012, cess formed 7% of the union government's total tax revenues. In 2025, cess is estimated to be about 20% of the union government's total tax revenues. This means that for every 100 rupees, the union government earns rupees 20 via cess. A Controller and Auditor General report exposed that in 2018-19, the union government withheld, sir, 1 lakh crore of the 2.75 lakh crore collected through various cesses in the Consolidated Fund of India, or the CFI. Rupees 10,000 crore of the road and infrastructure cess collected during the year was, I quote, neither transferred to the related reserve fund nor utilized for the purpose for which the cess was collected. More alarmingly, rupees 1.24 lakh crore collected as cess on crude oil in the past 1 decade had not been transferred to the designated reserve fund Oil Industry Development Board and was retained in CFI. The report further states that non-creation, non-operation of reserve funds makes it difficult to ensure that cesses and levies have been utilized for the specific purposes intended by the Parliament. What are the cesses and levies being used for? Where is transparency? Where is accountability on the part of the central government in the cesses and levies that it's collecting? In the early 1980s, the Sagarika Commission recommended that cesses and surcharges should be levied for a specific period only and for a limited time period only. In 2010, the Punchi Commission stated that extension of cesses and surcharge amounts to dilution of the recommendations of the Finance Commissions and deprive the states of their due share in central tax revenue. Rupees 5.7 lakh crore of cess and surcharge has been lying unutilized since 2019. So, the bill's tax cess structure centralizes revenue with the union government and reduces potential revenue for the states. It lacks transparency in how the cess will be used, raising extremely grave and serious concerns about federalism and the dues of states, as well as accountability of the central government. So in any case, we know that this government does not practice cooperative federalism. It practices discriminatory federalism. There is no accountability on how the cess will be shared. So the sharp excise hike in the bill will hit the poorest producers first, small farmers, BD units and tribal communities. The bill raises excise on all unmanufactured tobacco from 64% to 70%, increasing input costs for small processors and pushing thousands of MSMEs, BD manufacturers into distress. For Adivasi Tendu leaf collectors, women BD rollers and small growers across Bengal, Odisha, Jharkhand and Bihar, this translates into direct income loss and a serious blow to their traditional livelihoods.
ಪರಿಶುದ್ಧ ನಂದಿನಿ ಹಾಲಿನಿಂದ ತಯಾರಿಸಿದ ನೈಜ ನಂದಿನಿ ಐಸ್ ಕ್ರೀಮ್ಸ್.
Excise duty accounts for 5% of the union government's revenue. As per the RBI, the divisible pool between states and centre has shrunk from 89% of gross tax revenue in 2011 to 79% in 2021. This despite the 10% increase in tax devolution to states as recommended by the 14th Finance Commission. So there is no transparency in this bill on how revenues are going to be shared between states and centre. This is a bill which is going to increase fiscal centralization. It is going to deprive the states of revenue. It is going to deprive the states of autonomy. It is increasing the unaccountable centre's powers over monopoly of tax revenues, monopoly of cess. Sheshe, sir, একটু বাংলায় বলি। আমি জানি যে কেন্দ্র সরকার তো বাংলা বোঝেন না, তবুও বাংলায় বলি যে আমি বাংলাতে বলছি কিন্তু আমি যখন বাংলাতে বলছি হয়তো আমাকে বাংলাদেশি বলবে, কারণ বাংলা ভাষাকে বাংলাদেশি ভাষা বলে। দিল্লি পুলিশের কেন্দ্র সরকার একটা নোটিশে দিয়েছে যে বাংলাদেশি একটা ভাষা আছে, জানো, একটা বাংলাদেশি ভাষা বলছে, পরিযায়ী শ্রমিকরা নাকি বাংলাদেশি ভাষা বলে। আমি বাংলাতে বলছি, আমাকে হয়তো বাংলাদেশি বলে তাড়িয়ে দেবে। যাই হোক স্যার, যারা শ্রমিক, যারা কাজ করে, যারা তামাক কারখানায় কাজ করে, যারা বাড়িতে কাজ করে, তারা সবাই একটা জিনিস চায় স্যার, মাইনে, মাসে মাসে মাইনে পাওয়া উচিত। মাইনে যদি না পায় তাহলে কি করে ঘর চলবে, কি করে বাচ্চাদের বড় করবে, কি করে খাবে, কি করে বাচ্চাদের স্কুলে পাঠাবে? মাইনে না থাকলে কি করবে স্যার? শ্রমিকরা কি করবে যদি মাইনে পাচ্ছে না? Sir, Manrega workers in Bengal have not received their wages since 2022. Nearly 2 lakh crore is due to the state of West Bengal from the union government across various schemes. Sir, বাংলার টাকা আটকে রাখছে কেন? বাংলাকে বঞ্চিত করছে কেন? বাংলার লাঞ্ছনা বন্ধ করো। বাংলার টাকা কেন আটকে রেখেছো? Sir, this government is withholding the Manrega workers' wages. People are suffering because this government has not released the wages of Manrega workers. Stop the neglect of Bengal. Banglar lanchona bondo koro.
No.
Thank you, sir.
No.
Vande Mataram. Jai Hind.
ಮತ್ತಷ್ಟು ವಿಶೇಷ ವಿಡಿಯೋಗಳನ್ನು ನೋಡಲು ಮತ್ತು ಹೊಸ ವಿಡಿಯೋಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತಿಳಿಯಲು
ಈ ದಿನ .com ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಚಾನೆಲ್ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಮತ್ತು ಬೆಲ್ ಐಕಾನ್ ಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ.